everyone, it's Robin, R Silent Crafts, and welcome to my studio. This is my Whip It Wednesday video where I'm going to show you the crafty goodness that I've been working on this week. I finished the Snowman. This is from the Pat Sloan Button Club. Worked on this with my patrons. I say it's finished, but I'm actually going to go through, and I forgot I want to move this snowflake and put it back up here. I was trying to go for not symmetrical, but then these two looked really good, and this one's just too far down. I need to move that up a little bit. It's going to be really easy. I didn't go through the back or anything, but I can just move that button. Because the more I look at it, it just looks off to me, so I have to move the button. I had a lot of fun working on this. I like to do applique projects like this. I like to do raw edge applique where you just put some heat and bond on the back and then you just stitch it down. I did some fancy stitching here for the arms. You can kind of see it a little better on the back. More of the fun gnome winter fabric for the back. And then just some basic white binding to kind of showcase it, and it reminds me of snow, so it's perfect for the snowman. Cardinal star down at the bottom, and then these are just regular stars. It's actually a 4th of July fabric, but that doesn't matter. It works for this. I will be putting this in my shop. Hopefully by the time you see this, it'll be there. If you watch on my community tab here on YouTube, now I know not everyone can see it. Sometimes you have to be on your phone or you have to be on the computer. It just sometimes doesn't work for people. But I tend to put a notification there that I'm going to be popping something in the shop so that you can see ahead of time and you'll know it's there. I was trying to put it on Instagram, but to be honest, I've really just run out of time and ambition to stay up to date on the Instagram. I love the Instagram app, but I kind of run hot and cold with it. I will use it for a while and then I stop. So I am taking pictures today. It's Monday morning, so hopefully all the pictures will be taken, edited, and everything will be in the shop. I also finished the Flying Geese and the Scrappy Hourglass Halloween tote bag. That one's all done. I love the way this turned out. I like how it has just a thin black that matches down here to kind of separate everything. I love that it's wild and crazy. A Halloween tote bag or a holiday tote bag, especially Halloween, I just like the craziness of it. You're only going to use it normally for that month, that season, and then you put it away. It's not always some people do like to carry a Halloween bag year round, but most people don't use it year round, so it can have that little burst of wackiness for the short amount of time you're going to use it and then put it away until next year. So same thing on the other side, just different rearrangement of fabrics. I did go with the purple and orange handles. Getting really skilled and fast at putting in the magnetic snaps. So this has the green with the black bats. I love this craziness on the inside. And then for the welt pocket, I put some white bat fabric in there, so that is cool, and it kind of just peeks out there on the side. And I found a great use for my neon orange zipper. You really can't put a neon orange zipper in a lot of things, but it works great for Halloween, and I think it goes good with the green bat fabric. So I have some more white bat fabric in there. So you do have a little bit of a lighter fabric so you can see your stuff. The pocket goes all the way down, and yes, this time I did remember to sew the pocket up. The problem comes when I have to change the thread. I usually just stop for the day and I forget to come back and sew that pocket up. So I'm still doing the trick where I sew the lining down so that it doesn't come out. It's all attached in there. Plenty of room to put lots of goodness. I have the zipper pull, and this time I put the little hand. I guess it's supposed to have like a little eye in there. I thought that felt a little Halloween-y. Or it's a jellyfish. You know, whichever. That doesn't really matter one way or the other, right? It'll all work. So I went ahead and got all the photos done for this also, so this will be in the shop by the time you see this. Again, check the community tab. Follow me on Instagram. I'll get back to Instagram as we're getting more into like the seasons. I don't know. I always seem to get a little bit busy and like that summer slump when you really just don't want to do anything, but you have to. So you just do the minimum. And then as we get into the winter months, then I just kind of like perk up and come back alive. That heat, the Florida heat can really just, well, heat anywhere, right? It can just really drag you down even when you're staying inside in the air conditioning. But for us, we're a little bit opposite most of the areas where in the wintertime people go into their houses and close up all the windows and shut everything down. And here we're opposite. We shut everything down in the summer, and when the winter comes, we start opening up the windows. You see more people walking around the neighborhoods and out and about just because that crazy humidity isn't so bad. Now this is a project for Friday's video coming up where I had the request to take the charm packs and turn them into the quarter square triangles or the hourglass blocks. I feel like hourglass, if you have the matching fabric, so these two are the same, then it feels like an hourglass. And when I mix them all up like this, it feels more like the quarter square triangle. So I used a charm pack to make this. I have the same aqua batting on I have the same aqua fabric on the back. Now this one I did struggle a little bit with, and again, I didn't listen to that inner voice, and I went with the quilting just a little bit from the edge, but where these blocks come together, there's quite a bit of the seam allowances in there. So no matter how I folded them and pressed them open or did whatever, there was just a little bit of a bulk there. And I should have gone, I should have gone wider for my quilting. So what that did is, as I was doing it and I could feel it kind of get hung up a little bit, I'm like, okay, it looks great on the front. Everything's good. I forgot that you have to check the back of the quilt. It does look great on the front. And it really does look fine on the back too. I am going to be putting this in my shop so you know it's not horrible, but I will be putting it down as just a little bit of a discount only because some of the quilting I just don't feel goes to the good standards of some of the higher price that I do for some of my mini quilts. Now the quilting is fine, everything is good, it's going to stay together. It's a wall quilt, it will be fine. So it's one of those things that I feel comfortable with it to put it in the shop. It's going to be a wall hanging or a table topper or something like that. It's not like a quilt that's going to get used again and again. And by time I progressed to realize that, hey, this might be an issue, it was too far along to actually go ahead and take out all of the quilting. Like I said, I feel comfortable with it. It happens. I've sat with it for a bit and I've decided, you know what, I'm just going to let it go as is and not worry about it. I knew my lines weren't going to be perfect. They weren't evenly spaced. You can see where I was coming down and it was fine, and then I swerved a little because when you hit that bulkier area with your seams, it can cause your quilt, your needle, your foot or something to veer off a little bit. So that was one of the issues I had. And you know what? It's one of those things you just have to learn by doing, and then you have to remember that when your gut tells you something, just because you're tired and you want to get it done, or you've been recording a video all day and you've had enough, you just need to go ahead and stop and double check the back to make sure everything looks good. So your scrappy word for today will be oops. Oops, I had an issue. Oops, I didn't listen to my gut. If you want to go ahead and let us know about one of your little oops, that's fine. And if you want to just keep all that a secret and never tell about your oops, that's good too. We don't always need to share everything, right? Sometimes it's good to just keep our little secrets and not tell anyone. Like if you have a secret, like if it's inside the quilt and it's not known, or you had to piece something together, or you had to add a little bit of fabric to make sure it worked, we don't need to know all those little secrets, right? So I'm working on another Halloween project. By the time you see this video, it should be complete, and it might even be in the shop and ready for you. I am making another Halloween tote bag. I picked up a couple charm packs from Etsy, Lollipop Garden by Layla Boutique. It's 42 squares, and it's just all the different Halloween ones. And then I brought in some other ones, as you can see, that you might notice that they might not have been in there because I had these in the tote bag using yardage. But the majority of these are all from that charm pack. So it had a lot of fun fabrics. It even had some cats in it. I love the candy corns in all of the different colors. So those were really fun to work with, and I'm really enjoying making tote bags scrappy like this. This will probably be it for my Halloween tote bags. I have an idea in my head. I just need to get better background fabric. This is too busy. It's too much than what I thought it was going to be like. There were too many. When you look at the charm packs online, yes, you can see them. You can see all the different patterns, but they just looked more light colored and grays to me. And then there was a whole bunch of oranges, and even the grays and stuff were quite busy and everything. So I just went ahead and went with the crazy tote bag versus the one I have in mind. I might still be able to go out to Joann's, even if I get it done just before Halloween or after. At least I can get it done and out of my head and then pop it into the shop. And maybe someone might want it for a year-round bag or for next year. So September has been a very long month. September is always a long month. There's 5 Fridays in it. So I feel like it's been really dragging by. I'm just kind of excited to get into October. October, the weather starts to change a little bit here. We're in the upper 80s with lower humidity. It doesn't get cool until like November, and even then it's not like cold. It just gets a little cooler. The cold fronts will start coming down in Florida, but since we're below the midpoint, we're in Southwest Florida, northern Florida will get all the cold fronts, and they just usually don't make it down to us until maybe January or February. But it's okay because it'll be nice out. It'll be nice to walk around the neighborhood. I've started walking a little bit more just because you can walk and still be able to breathe without opening the front door and feeling like you're walking out into an oven. So we have one more Friday tutorial, and then we'll get into October and start back up with the live streams on the 1st and 3rd of October, 1st and 3rd Friday of October. I'm not sure what we're going to work on. I don't even know what I'm going to do for tutorials next month. But I'm sure I'm going to have fun making it. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!